Today I'm going to show you how to make wardrobe sachets. I am using just some offcuts and the material is from Laura Ashley. So you can actually use this template to create any size wardrobe sachets that you want. So the first thing that you would need is the material itself. I've cut two pieces that measure 3 by 3 inches. Then you will need a sewing machine. You will also need some scissors, needle and thread. You will then need either lavender, or previously I've used some dried rose, so rose petals that is, or you can use essential oils. And then you'll need some balls of cotton as well. Don't forget your ribbon too. We can begin. First things first, and that's put your two pieces of material together and you put two of the front facing pieces on the inside. So the wrong sides need to be on the outside. What I would suggest, if you have a pattern, that you'll make it the right way up. So if you want both facing upwards, then they should be folded this way. Otherwise, if you wanted them one upside down, then perhaps you could do this. And if you're pattern matching, this might be important when you're cutting as well. So I'm going to do it this way. And then what I'm going to do using my sewing machine is sew 3 full sides just in a straight line. On the fourth one, I'm only going to go halfway up, and the reason for that is so that we can turn it inside out. So be sure to leave about 1 centimetre from the edge and make sure to sew a straight line. So as you can see, I've left the needle inside. What I'm going to do is pivot by picking this up, swiveling it round and going again. Then I'm going to do one last line here. As I've mentioned before, I'm only going to go halfway this time around so that we can actually turn this inside out. So as you can see, I've left a gap here. What I'm going to do first is actually secure these threads so that when I am turning this inside out, that they don't come undone. So just tie it a couple of times. And just this other side as well. Before you turn it inside out, I recommend that you actually cut the edges so that when you do turn it inside out, it's actually really neat and it doesn't seem bulgy. So I am cutting diagonally in the corners. Make sure not to go too close to the edge of your sewing line. And then one more. The bit where it's actually open, I'd be really careful and probably just do the top bit, like so. So now I'm going to turn it inside out. This bit can be tricky, so make sure to use scissors if you need to. Obviously be really careful not to ruin your material. So this is what you should end up with. So now it's time to fill your sachet. I have a couple of options, so I can either use the essential oils and put it on the ball of cotton and then put that inside, or I can put the cotton inside and then sprinkle it with the lavender that I have. Or you could even do both, so it depends what kind of smells that you want, because this is jasmine and I've got lavender. Or you can mix jasmine with rose or rose petals with lavender, so whatever you fancy. Right now I'm going to show you how to sprinkle it with lavender. So I'm taking some lavender and literally just putting it inside. Now it's time to cut your ribbon. As you can see, this one's a loop and it's about an inch long. You can make it as long or as short as you want, but remember that if you're using it on a hanger, then it has to be bigger than the hanger thickness to loop it through. There you go. And now what I'm going to do is fold the edges here and put the ribbon right at the end. I've put the ribbon inside the fold, and now we're going to sew all around the edge. You can do a straight line. I thought that the zigzag was quite nice. Feel free to embroider it as well if you're into it. If you are a beginner, I recommend tacking the outside first and then sewing it on your sewing machine. That way you can make sure that it's a straight line whilst you're sewing it on the machine, and then you can get rid of this thread later on. So I'm going to do the zigzag. Make sure that the option on your sewing machine is the zigzag, and we're going to go ahead with it. So I'm doing it right at the edge, and I'm starting with the ribbon side. Excuse my thread, obviously got stuck, but you can still see a lovely zigzag there, so I'm going to continue. Once again, I'm leaving my needle in the material and then I twist it. And there you have it. Simply neaten up the edges. So once again, tie them, maybe even use a needle to thread them through and then poke them inside so that you don't actually see the ends at all. I'll show you how to do that now. So first, I will tie them. Then I'd cut the ends so that they're both the same size, and then I'll use the needle to thread them through. And then thread it inside the material so that you can't see it. And then once you pull it through, you simply cut this right to the edge without ruining the material, and then make sure that it goes back inside. And as you can see, you can't tell that there's actually a thread there.